Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Regis Ramblers. Lancers currently 6-2 on the year, taking on a much bigger Regis team, already 12-5, ranked 30th in Wisconsin. Both these teams saw each other, did not play each other in the state tournament, but Lancers played right before Regis played. Lancers, of course, winning their state tournament game, and Regis right after ended up losing it in 5. Both teams also met last year. Both played first against each other, with the Lancers coming out on top of that one in 2 sets. On the opposite court, Mcdonell taking on Columbus Catholic as part of the 16th Ennis Mcdonell tournament. Lancers start off today with Leduc back to serve. Down Rivera, sent right back by Koenig. Saving the set across. Touches the net. Front back and back across on the left side. And now a ball from the opposite court enters in. And we will replay the point. And it's Leduc back to serve once again. Dug up in the back and it's set it across. Down the line, and Gergel can't make it there in time. And the Ramblers strike first with a 1-0 lead. Back to serve will be Dykes. Off the hands of Starlin. Thompson gets it back in the air for Radical. Good spot and drops one down. Under the hands of a diving Morning. And the Lancers get it right back now with Thompson serving. Into the net, and the Ramblers going to get it right back. Number 6, Borton will enter, and it'll be her who will head back to serve. To the back corner, Radical's there. Cuts back for Koenig. And they're called lift on Thompson. Tried to bring it back from the net. As this game goes to 3-1 in favor of Regis. To the back, Radical's there. Thompson going to set for her. Dug up in the back. Sent right back by Koenig. Line drive, tip back up and into the net. Bartles and Quaid in for Koenig and Gergel. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Edges to the corner. Back up quickly, blocked with the net by Radical. And a lift now on Regis. And it'll be Bartles back once again, this time a chance to take the lead. Game tied at 3. Good spot, running safe. Sets one back across, right at Bartles and off into the opposite court. As Lewis will now enter. And it'll be the libero, Olivia, back to serve. Down the line, Leduc is there. Set center for Radical. To the corner and out of play. And now a 5-3 Rambler lead. Radical dives up and ends up sending it into the post. As an ace for Olivia, sends them now up by 3, 6-3. That one goes short and into the net. Lance is going to get it back with Radical now heading back to serve. Right out Olivia, she'll send one high, set across on the run, and out of play. Lancers bring it down within 1, and Radical will have a chance to tie. Good spot, diving save gets it back in the air, sent back up. The back, dug up by Bartles. Across to Leduc, to the back line. Received by Olivia, set quickly center off the net, diving save by Radical, up and out of play. As the Ramblers bring it down within 2, they've done that quick set a few times. Lancers have struggled blocking all year. And against that, struggle even more as they have in the first few points. Reichert back to serve now. Right at Radical. Thompson sets one up for Leduc on the run. To the corner and drops it down. I cannot see that back line, and I know you guys can't either. Best thing to do to judge it, the solid blue line, it's about 2 inches off the back of that. It's the easiest way to tell. As it'll be Starlin now back to serve. Touch back across, gonna touch it back over. Had to readjust. Now up center for Leduc. She'll touch it down the line. Pump back into play and sent over on a standstill. Radical on the dive. Set up center. Leduc on the run. Blocked with the net. Tipped back in the air, but not enough. As the Ramblers go up 2, 8-6. And it'll be 18. Reidenauer entering in. Back to serve. Leduc gonna tip one up for Quaid. To the back and a running save. Olivia sends one back. Off to the corner. Radical's there. Set center. Leduc tipped at the net onto the Regis side. Back to the corner and out of play. Try to paint that line. Ended up going out by a few inches. As Gergel enters back in for Quaid. 8-7. Lancers another chance to tie. It'll be Gergel back to do it. Good spot, and she'll drop down an ace. Had a nice open area, sent it just short enough that Olivia couldn't get there in time. And this one ends up going short as the Ramblers retake a 1-point lead, 9-8. And it'll be Lewis back to serve. Short receive by Bartles, no one can get there in time as the Ramblers go up 2, 10-8. Right at Bartles, Starlin backs up to get it, sets it back up for Bartles. Good touch over the block, and the Lancers bring it back within 1 as Katie enters in for Bartles. And Leduc back again to serve. That's a big open area on the left side, close to the net. Sends it a bit far. Olivia's there. Set across on the run. Right at Radical. Luke gets it back in the air. Gergel from the back, can I get it over? Back across, cross court, and drops it down on the line. Now with Dykes back to serve. Received by Starlin. Set up for Radical. Off the net, diving save, gets it back in the air across. Right down the line and under the net off the hands of Gergel. That was Reidenauer runs the team kill. Bringing the Ramblers up by 3. Thompson across for Radical. Gonna touch it over. Running save set from back row. Gergel once again gets under it, but can't get enough lift on it. As that one too goes under the net, and the lead grows to 4. Sliding save by Starlin out of play, and an ace for the Ramblers. They're up 14-9. And a timeout by the Lancers, down 5, 14-9 here in the first set. Continuing off the timeout. Skimming off the net, now to play off the hands of Leduc. Another ace for the Ramblers, and they go up by 6, 15-9. Dyke still serving, going strong. Now with back-to-back aces. This one received cleanly by Leduc, set across for Radical on the run, and she'll finish that one off. Under the hands of a diving Olivia. And the Lancers back within 5 with Thompson back to serve. Sent her first serve into the net earlier today. Good spot there, center of the morning. Back across. Diving save by Leduc, can't get it back in the air. And the Ramblers get it right back. And now Morton enters in, and we'll head back to serve. The back, received by Gurgle. Thompson across for Radical, and she'll knock down another. Once again, right in front of Olivia. And the Lancers back within 5. Wade and Bartles enter in for Koenig and Gurgle. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Set across on the run, cross court, drops it down in front of Leduc. And the Ramblers getting it right back once again. And now Olivia back to serve for the Ramblers. Received by Bill Thompson, sends it across for Quaid. The back corner and just out of play. 18-11, a 7-point lead for the Ramblers. Down the line, Leduc is there. No one else there to receive the pass. Lancers now going to send Larson in for Starlin. 19-11 as Olivia continues to serve, looking for the 20s. To the back, Leduc is there. Quay back across and bumped over by Radical. Good spot, and that one bumped out of play. Lancers now within 7 as Radical heads back to serve. Good spot, sent sideways from the ground, can't get it over. And the Lancers now within 6. Spot running safe. Gonna set one back on the run, cross court, back in the air from Thompson. Way back for Leduc. Tipped and handled cleanly by Olivia. Back across, good touch over the net, diving save by Thompson. Bartles back in the air, and Leduc gets it over. Set back to the side again, through the hands of Radical into the back line. And it's back to a 7-point lead. Lewis relentless on the run on the right side. Eventually got one through as Riker will now head back to serve. Miscommunication by Larson and Radical. Drops down for an ace, and it's an 8-point game. Starlin back in for Larson. And Riker will continue to serve. By Starlin, set back for Leduc. Cross court, back in the air, and bumped over down the line. Bartles is there, Thompson set. Leduc again, blocked out of play. And the Lancers bring it back within 7. And now Starlin back to serve for the Lancers. To the corner and way out of play. Right back to the Ramblers, just 3 points away from taking the first set. It'll be Morning back to serve. With right now entering in. Into the net, Lancers gonna get it right back. Once again, within 7. Gurgle back in for Quaid. And it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Right to Morning, gonna set one back quickly. Center blocked at the net. Bumps back and into the net. Twice from Lewis, couldn't quite get it high enough. As the Lancers bring it now within 6. Seibel entering in for Starling. And Gurgle back to serve. Good spot, lunging save, gonna set one back. Blocked at the net by Leduc. And the Lancers now within 5. Blocking, showing some improvement, especially in the last few points here. As Lancers try to make a comeback run. Current score 22-17. Received by Morning. Set across for Reitenhauer. Dug up by Seibel, tipped back in the air from Thompson. Luke gets it up. Blocking that again and drops down in front of Bartles. (23-17) as Lewis heads back to serve. Getting up to Seibel, back across for Bartles, trying to touch it with her left hand, and that one goes out of play. 1 point away now are the Ramblers, 24-17. And now a discussion. Opposite line judge had a discussion with the ref. Now both refs will confer. I'm going to go to the scorers table. Not sure what it's about, but everything seems to be figured out. 24-17. Back to serve for the win will be Lewis. Sent high by Gurgle. And play will stop as the ball off the opposite court enters in. And they will do it again. Drops one up off the hands of Leduc and out of play. And an ace for the Ramblers will end it 25-17 in the first set. Second set will start up in about 3 minutes on the opposite court. The Max taking on the Dons, with the Max having a 3-point lead, 22-19. That one's in their first set. As that one goes long. And the Max now just 2 points away from taking that first set. And a timeout will be called. are back for the second set. Lancers losing the first one 25-17. As on the opposite court, Mcdonell just won their first set 25-20. So both Mcdonell and Regis will try to end it in 2. Regis will start off serving into the net. That was Dykes. He led him on a nice run in that first set. Going to start off with nothing here as the Lancers take a 1-0 lead. And it'll be Luke back to serve for the Lancers. Receiving quick sets to the back. Luke can't make it back in time as the Ramblers tie it quickly at 1. And now Porton entering and Porton heading back to serve. Received by Leduc. Thompson sends him back along the net line. Radical gonna poke it over. A couple of Regis defenders all got a piece of it. Radical enough on it to get it over. Ends up rolling down to the floor as the Lancers retake a 2-1 lead. Now with Thompson back to serve. Big spot, lunging save, gonna set one all the way across and drops one down in the corner once again. Keep drifting Lewis over there. Leduc ends up going down the line, which is where it usually goes, and ends up splitting the defense, getting it right through. He's done that 4 times now. As Thompson's gonna set one across for Radical, blocked at the net. Starlin's there. Thompson back, this time for Koenig on the run. Gonna just send one to the back. Quickly center. Gurgle is there, right back there, and Leduc is there. Again for Radical. Muscles it over, back to the hands of Koenig. Over for Thompson. To the corner and drops one down. Long volley from the Lancers, and they come out on top with a 1-point lead, 3-2. Bartles and Quaid entering in for Gurgle and Koenig. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Into the net. And the game ties back up at 1. And now Reichert back to serve. Running save by Leduc, set across for Quaid. Touches the net, running save gets it back in the air. Now miscommunication, and it's out of play. 4-3 with Radical back to serve. Starting out just about the same as the first set. Was close, most of it. And towards the middle endish. Regis ended up pulling away. As this one set back on the run. And Lancers in the net. Rideauer will enter for Porton. And it'll be Morning back to serve. Received by Starlin. Thompson across, Luke on the run, and a touch it down the line, just out by about an inch. Right idea from Leduc, just a little too much on it, as the Ramblers go up 5-4. Received by Starlin. Thompson across for Leduc. Sliding save in the back by Olivia, set back across for Ridenauer, diving save by Radical. And miscommunication by Quaid and Starlin. Both backed off, and it's a 2-point lead for the Ramblers. To the back, Radical's there. Thompson up center for Quaid. Down to the corner, touchdown of play by Reichert. And the Lancers right back within 1. And that will send Starlin back to serve. Back, touching the air by Ridenauer, sets back, down the line and out of play. Good read by Radical to let that one go. Just a tad too much on it. Starlin back to serve, looking for a lead. Game tied at 6. Received high in the back by Olivia. Quick set center. And Luke can't get up in time, goes to the corner. with the Ramblers going right back up by 1, 7-6. Lewis now back to serve. Set for Leduc center, touches the net. Saved and bumped back off the net. And from back or over, Luke got a piece of it. Bumped back over by Starlin. Set to the corner for Ridenauer, touches the net. Radical gets it back in the air. Query back across. Thompson will come over to bump it to the back. Save and set quick center. Off the net, Radical's there. Starlin back up for Thompson on the run. Gonna poke it down the corner. Sets one back on a standstill. Radical back in the air. Starlin on the run. Bartles gonna get it over. Set back across for Ridenauer. Over the hands of Starlin, right at the feet of Bartles. And the Ramblers finish it and go up 8-6. The back received by Bartles. Radical on the run, gonna pump it back. And Thompson sets into the net. (9-6) as Lewis tries to get them in double digits. Received by Leduc. Starlin center for Leduc. Off the hands of Reichert, set back and bumped over. Chance for Lancers here. Starlin up for Thompson. Touching the net back to the Lancers side. And the lead now up to 4, 10-6. To that corner off the hands of Leduc and out of play. An ace for the Ramblers. They're up 11-6. And a timeout by the Lancers. Back from timeout, 11-6, Lancers down 5 with Lewis still serving for the Ramblers. Received center by Bartles. Put up for Thompson on the run, gonna poke one down the net line, rolls all the way down. Ends up dropping down to the Lancers side. Lewis back to serve, received by Radical. Sets one up for Thompson. Received clearly in the back by Lewis. Set back, gonna go cross court, touch tie by Radical. Starlin can't make it back. And the Lancers now down 7. Back, received by Leduc. Gonna set one up for Thompson. And Ramblers in the nets. And the Lancers will break the run and bring themselves back within 6. Gurgle in for Quaid, and it's Gurgle back to serve. To the corner, received cleanly. Bump back off the net, to the back, and out of play. Lancers now within 5, 13-8. The back corner. Bumped back high by Olivia. Good touch over. Running save by Radical. Bartles gets it back up for Thompson on a standstill. Tip to the back. Set across right side. Radical back in the air. Starlin couldn't react in time. As the lead grows up to 6. And it'll be Dykes back to serve. Received center by Radical. Set for Thompson. Down the sideline. Step back across, goes cross court. Radical there on the run. Back up for Thompson again. This one will finish. Splits the defense of Olivia and Morning. As the Lancers bring it back within 5. Leduc heading back to serve with Koenig entering in. Down the line, received and bumped back high off the ceiling. Caps just bump it over. Chance for the Lancers. Thompson trying to send it across. The bump was too high, and it was the Ramblers who got a touch on it first. As they ended up sending it right back to the Lancers side. Now with Horton entering into serve. Down the line, Luke sends it high, and no one there to get it. And the lead now up to 7. That one down the line out of play. Lancers bring it back within 6, now with Thompson serving. Corner, tipped back high on the run. Luke is there. Thompson gonna set one up for Radical. Good touch. Lunging save, tipped back up, and back set over. Thompson again for Radical. High off the ceiling and right back down. Olivia was there, but the dig ended up going too high. As the Lancers now bring it back within 5. Along the net, saved by Porton. Back across for Morning, and Gurgle tried to set it, ended up rolling down off her hands. As the Ramblers get it back, and it'll be Olivia back to serve. Maintaining a 5-6 point lead here. Off the net, Starlin running in position, tried to set it back, ended up missing it. As now Kazemba gonna enter for Leduc. Lost one up, received by Radical. Set across for Radical on the run. Along the net and can't get it over. 19-11 now, an 8 point lead. Tipped out by Starlin, set back for Radical, down the line and out of play. Beautiful play by the Lancers. Radical just couldn't quite hit that line, about an inch off. And now 20-11 as Kazemba on a dive, gets it up in the air, but no one there to receive it. As the Lancers now go down 10, 21-11. The back, received by Gurgle. Thompson across for Koenig and into the net. 22-11, it's an 11 point lead. Received by Starlin, set for Radical, good touch. Running save and quick step back, Gurgle's there. Send it back up for Radical. Good spot, Radical. Goes high to the ceiling, bumped back and bumped over. Gurgle's there once again. Again for Radical. This one high to the ceiling and that one will drop down. Lead back down to 10 as Quaid and Bartles will enter for Gurgle and Koenig. And it's Bartles back to serve. The back received by Borton. Set back on the run, cross court, Zemba's there off the ceiling, Bartles back in the air, Thompson on the one hand, into the net. And Sliba will enter in for Bartles. (23-12), an 11 point lead for the Ramblers. Lost one high, Radical's there. Thompson across for Starlin. Cross court out of play. And the Ramblers just 1 point away from taking the second set and the first game of the day. The back diving save by Seibel out of play. And an ace once again ends it. 25-17 in the first set. 25-12 in the second. As the Ramblers go to 1-0 on the day. And the Lancers drop to 0-1 as they will take on Pacelli right after this. It'll be coming up in about 5-6 minutes. I'm going to turn it off, turn it right back on for categorizing sake. As Lancers drop the first one, 0-1. Pacelli coming up in about 5 minutes.